There we go. Welcome to the Gamepad Saga podcast. Eric,
Kishion,
how you doing today, brother?
I'm good.
Good.
Want to know why?
Good to hear. Why?
Because it's got to be real. You know it is. The funky big band.
Sing it.
Girl, you know it is. I won't quit my day job, I promise.
That was great.
Thank you.
So in today's episode, I decided we're going to talk about handhelds.
Handheldies.
That does exclude Tamagotchis.
No, get out of here. You know they made a comeback, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what was the other one? Digipet?
Digimon.
Okay. And
Digimon.
the Tiger handheld thing. But we're going to go ahead and start off with the PlayStation Portal.
Well, we're doing the Portal first? You want to do the PSP? We can do the Portal.
Let's
do the Portal.
Right, go ahead,
Let's do the Portal. Let's do the Portal. Well, what's your take on the Portal first off?
I think that's pretty cool. I don't
You have one?
Yeah, no.
Well, I did have one at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I sold it.
Why'd you sell it?
Well, I was a bit disappointed in it.
Mm-hmm.
Reason being is because although you can stream the game that you have in or the games you have downloaded on your PS5 once it's in standby mode. So as long as you're connected to the internet, you're good. Like you can go ahead and you can
Play
be
whatever.
you can be feet away, a town away, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to play it, no problem. My issue was, I know a lot of people don't have that issue, but I did.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm at work, my PlayStation isn't being ready to turn on when I'm hitting the power button to play my Portal. And it's like, oh, we can't connect. It's like, oh, come on. Okay.
So did your PlayStation have to be on? Or did it have to be?
It has to be on sleep voice. Or
okay.
Sleep mode or standby.
Standby, yeah. Sleep mode.
Sleep boy. Game Boy. There you go. But even still, the battery life isn't that great.
Really?
But it's a Portal. It's a portable handheld, so it's not gonna, and it's pretty powerful too. So it's not gonna be super great with the battery.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can get 3 or 4 hours.
Oh, okay.
Depending on what you're playing, you probably can get 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Right? 3 or 4 hours. I guess it's not bad, right? But
I don't think that's bad.
In this day and age where we have all this technology where we can literally build humans.
Right.
Well, why can't we have a portable system that could
last 8 hours?
At least 8. At least.
Mm-hmm.
At least. So the idea of it, I think, is great. However, I think a lot of people thought it was going to be like a standalone where you can play your games, right?
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, you have to be connected to your PS5 in order to play it. And even when I was close to my PS5, the latency was terrible. Yeah. I'd be literally sitting right in front and the stream looked choppy sometimes, and it would come in and out. It'd be clear for a little bit, and then it would
That's
get
probably
choppy
why I stayed
again.
away. Because I would usually remote on the Mac or the PC.
Yeah, and it's not a bad system. I bought Steve one actually for his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hi, Steve.
Miss you, buddy. Me and him go to war at the hospital together. Well, we work at different hospitals, but yeah, it's not. I wouldn't say it's their PlayStation's greatest convention or invention ever made, but I think it could have been better.
Could have been better. Yeah.
I think it could have been better. Because it was kind of quietly released too, so it wasn't really something that.
Do you think I was when did it come out? Tail end of our favorite C19?
No. It came out 2020. No, 2023.
Okay. As far as the development cycle could have been around.
Yeah, PlayStation Portal came out, I think, October or November of last year. So it's been about a year now. They got a new handheld coming out called the Chromatic.
Chromatic? Oh, wow. I have not heard about that.
We actually have it on pre-order over at the game store right now. And it is supposed to be a rendition of the Game Boy Color.
So it's going to be small?
It's going to be small, yeah. It still has that 4 point something. I think it's like 4.2 inch screen or something like that. So it's literally almost identical to the Game Boy Color. It's just a different base, so it's not as long, so to speak.
Okay. Huh.
PlayStation Portal. Let me check this out.
I guess, everyone's trying to have mobile games, and I guess it's their way of wanting to be on top of that. Everyone wanting to play mobile games.
Yeah, but we all know Nintendo's got everyone beat on that.
Yeah.
We all know that. We all know that. But, since we're talking about the lineup of PlayStation portable systems right now. But let me see with this PlayStation Portal real quick, because I need to know like the sales, because it was hard to find this system for a little while, because even though we were selling it at the game store.
So were they doing their artificial supply and demand thing with them?
Yeah, I think they were. Come on now, you know how it is. You know how it is. It's like, oh, well, you can't find them anywhere, and all the rest of the good stuff. But they put a halt to them for a little bit because they weren't selling well.
Yeah, because I think it came out. Did not come out at the greatest time.
No, it didn't. November 15th of 2023.
That's right.
We're at a year. We're literally a day over a year. And it came out at $200 price point. And yeah, like I said, it was very quiet, so it didn't really have a lot of specs.
Because they probably knew the limitations of it.
So they knew. They knew.
Quietly force this out, see if they'll like it.
Yeah, and people were buying it up. People were buying it up. I mean, even people were scalping it at some point, but couldn't scalp that for too long because no one really was looking for something like that.
Yeah,
people were looking for.
It was like out of the blue.
Yeah, next best thing, and I think it was around the same time that PS5 Slim came out. This is around the same time.
Yes.
So, you get a new game system, and then now, or a new refresh on the game system, but now you got
this out of nowhere.
Portal?
Yeah.
Like, what? So, my review on it, again, it's a good system for what you want to use it for, but for what I wanted to use it for, it just wasn't. It wasn't it. And not saying, and I'm not shitting on it by any means, because it's a really good system. Like the design and everything like that is pretty cool. The only downside to that is that if you start getting stick drift on that, you have to completely replace that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because it mimics like an actual controller.
Yeah.
On the sides, and you get stick drift, and now you gotta either trade it in or sell it and get a whole new one if that could be the case.
Then they'll be like, no, we're not taking this back. You're out of warranty. Gosh.
Don't bring it to GameStop. I mean, bring it to GameStop. Bring it to GameStop.
Bring it to GameStop.
Bring it to GameStop. I gotta not look, no, I'm gonna say this. I'm going out on a limb. Don't bring it to GameStop. We're not gonna give you that much for it.
Right.
We're not gonna get you that much for it. So if anything, if you need to, if you're looking for a quick buck to just give it here, and then want to go ahead and trade in for a new one, or maybe a pre-owned one, whatever, you But if you have other plans with it, if you really wanted to get it fixed, I would say just take it to a repair shop. Just get it repaired.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll help you, but I'd rather you help yourself first and use us as a last resort. Well, that's just me.
So going back to it's regarding the PS5 Pro. I guess scalpers are having a hard time unloading their inventory.
And you know what? There's still a special place for them, because that's great. Go ahead. I'm listening.
No, that was it. Just the one thing that, they went and purchased up a lot of inventory and can't sell it for what they want.
Yeah, I think people now are, from what I've seen, they're selling for like a little over $700. But I mean, you're getting a free controller out of this.
Yeah.
Technically, right? Depending on what you're buying, if you're getting that bundle anyway. I'm trying to find the sales for this, for the PlayStation Portal, and I am not having a good time with this. But I'm glad they're having
those bad boys.
Yeah, they probably did. They probably did. Sales numbers. Here we go. All right. So in the 11 months it has been launched. So actually we're at 1 year now. So this could be skewed a little bit. And then we're coming up on the holiday too. So this again could be skewed. But 420K units sold in the US. It's one of the PlayStation Portal was the best-selling PS5 accessory in the United States in 2024. Yeah, because a lot of people were looking for it.
Right.
But then again, you have to remember, too, the scalpers are getting that and selling it to other people for a markup. Fewer than 3% of the PS5 owners bought one. However, fewer than 3% of the PS5 owners in the U.S. bought a PlayStation Portal. So, I mean, it's not a lot of people.
No.
It's not a lot. Exceeded expectations. Sony said that the sales for its handheld exceeded its own expectations. Just like what you said. Well, they must knew their limitations.
Yeah.
Right? But here's another one. And this is a bit more accurate. So 6,900K of devices sold if calculated for 3%. So altogether 23 million units in the US. So, oh wait, I'm sorry. That's PS5. I'm so stupid. The Portal is at 69K.
Okay.
6,900.
Okay.
690K. Jesus Christ, I can't talk. But yeah, if you look and try to find the specs, I mean, you really don't find too much about it, so I'm sure there is some specs on here. Let me get...
Thinking back, was last year the original date for the Switch to come out? Switch 2 or?
Yeah, the Switch 2 was supposed to come out in summer of last year.
Okay. So that's probably why Sony probably panicked and said, hey, let's get ours out before they do. You don't think so?
No, because let's be real. These people know that Nintendo's got a stronghold on it. And then you got the Steam Deck, you got the Lenovo Legion, you got the ROG Ally. So you have a whole plethora of things, especially with PC gaming now, going into the handheld market. And I just recently acquired a Steam Deck, and boy, do I recommend highly, highly.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter what you're going to come out with. Nintendo is going to come out with games that are first party that people are going to enjoy. It is a family-oriented thing, and a lot of people like family-oriented things. And Nintendo always comes out with good first-party games.
That's true.
They are going to be on top until somebody starts focusing on handheld, because let's be real. The Switch, it was cool, right? It was cool.
It was.
But when it was made, it was outdated already. The CPU that they used was outdated or getting ready to be outdated. The screen that you were using was outdated.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes. That. Why do you think so many people get so upset about the Switch being outdated? Like, it came out in 2017, right? 2016, 2017.
Oh, wow.
I remember too. Like, I got a fat check when I was like, I should go run and get one, because I had nephew with me. I don't know. I can't remember what we were doing. We were doing something. I think when we were at a GameStop and I bought him a game. I think I got him a Pokemon game or something like that. And I was thinking to myself, like, should I get a Switch? I'm like, no, I'll hold on to my money. But thinking back on it, yeah, it was like the processor and everything was damn near just about outdated. We were going to have new processors within the next year. So I was just like, wow. Why would we come out with this? But then everybody ate it up, right?
Yeah.
And then midway through, we had the version 2, right? And that's when everyone was griping.
Yeah.
Well, this system is kind of outdated. Like, we want something new. And then we had the infamous wave of COVID-27.
Yeah. I enjoyed my Switch. I didn't find any issues with it.
Well, no, I didn't find any issues.
But then
with it
again,
either.
I only kind of got it to play older games.
Right,
so.
right. And people were looking at it as, oh, well, this should be like the next greatest thing. It's like, no, come on now. It's a handheld game, or it's truly a handheld system. However, you can play it on the television.
Right.
But let's think back to it. What handheld systems, besides the PSP, which we're about to talk about today, had such powerful graphics? PSP had some PS2-like graphics.
Yes.
Those were some good graphics.
Yes.
I mean, would I say the Switch is better? I wouldn't say yes. I wouldn't say no, because some games look great on the Switch. Now, you put those on a PSP, might not look the same.
Right.
Might not look the greatest, just because of the hardware. But when we got the OLED, well, damn, like, now we have this other thing, but okay, we'll be satisfied, right? But then nothing was changed but the screen itself. In the side, in
the size got a little bigger.
It got slightly bigger, but then the Joy-Cons were quote unquote upgraded. You know, they said we need new Joy-Con stat, and they said okay, we'll just tighten a few screws and we're good.
Yeah,
right. So
that was the whole. I think slightly before the whole Joy-Con gate, everyone was mad because I guess was it the stick drift or something.
Yeah, they were breaking. It was the stick drift, and the whole breaking portion is just people not putting them on properly.
Okay, just slamming them on there.
Yeah, well, not so much slamming; it's taking them off. That's that kicker.
Gotta press the button.
You gotta press the button, but then if you're using the little bumpers or whatever for it, you have to make sure that you don't have it locked and that you put it on the right side. Plus side goes with plus side. Minus goes with minus.
Yeah.
I know there are people out there, and I'm holding the microphone in such dire straits right now because I know there are people out there that have kids that have Switches. But please stop bringing Switches in the game store with messed up Joy-Cons because they don't put it on properly.
So they're putting the opposite Joy-Con.
Yes, they're putting the opposite.
They're just trying to force it in.
Yeah, and then once they get it out, or if it gets stuck, they're like, oh God, it's pulling it out. Then the mechanism's broke. And then, so say if they're laying down playing with the Switch, and then all of a sudden, the Joy-Con slides out and hits you in the face. Smack. You know what I mean? Like, so that's a human error problem on that one. But the stick drift, yes, that was a huge issue. I know we had the Joy-Con gate, like you said. But then the OLED, I feel in my mind, the OLED was supposed to be the Switch 2. But given resources that, you know, COVID-34 has come in and done everything in, it was like a whole hurricane / monsoon / earthquake / whatever natural disaster insert that's ruined a lot of things. Supplies especially, that they're like, well, we can't really do much right now. So let's just make another refresh. And they did. The OLED was very successful. They came out with the Splatoon OLED. They came out with the Pokemon Scarlet Violet OLED. They came out with, there was a couple other OLEDs.
So they're creating a bunch of bundles, I guess, to sell.
Yeah. So, I mean, those were pretty popular and they were limited. I so happened to have the Tears of the Kingdom OLED. And it's beautiful.
Beautiful. Moi.
Fini. But that's neither here nor there. It's like me saying, my cabinets smell of rich mahogany. No, I'm not trying to do all that. But, you know, I think the Switch 2 was supposed to be out. Well before, even this past summer. But they wanted to be ready for the scalpers. And I think right now, they're going to have it in such demand, and now that we have the supplies to do it, we have the what is it, the nanometer sheets to go ahead and use those things. I think gaming right now, when it comes to the scalpers, is not going to be a great thing.
No, because
we're going to be in a crash soon anyway. Oh, we're already in one.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah, you're excused. About 3/4 out of the first beer. 3/4.
Yes.
But yeah, so we're gonna get on track here. Sorry,
that's fine.
Yeah, sorry.
I was gonna say that it's going to be interesting the next few years as we see, I don't know, consoles evolve, if they do, because we talked previously about the PS5, at least what we had information beforehand before the official release. But now that it's out, I mean, great for people that got one.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen any significant upgrades to anything really.
Well, I know I talked about this in the podcast, and I still stand firm on it that I don't think it's worth buying. But I will say that there is a significant difference in speed. However,
that's as far as loading the game,
how the game looks.
Okay.
like the PSSR or what Maximilian dude calls the pisser. Yeah, the pisser. Was it the PlayStation screen or PlayStation something resolution? Yeah, PlayStation something resolution. I don't remember. But anyway, the pisser actually works really well from what I've seen. So shout out to Maximilian dude, by the way, because that is a great acronym. It's a great way to use that acronym. But yeah, it looks great because I had actually seen him do Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on it. I was like, oh wow, that does look a little different, right? So I would say the advantage to the PS5 Pro is that you're playing this game natively to what it's made for, as the PlayStation or the Series X, right? Oh, did it even come out on the Series X? I don't think it did. Let me double check that. Let me fact check. Let me fact check because we all know Xbox has been lacking lately. Not knocking the Xbox fans out there because I like Xbox just as much as you do. I'm a PlayStation fanboy all the way, but I'll still cop me an Xbox. Yeah. I still need to complete my set anyway. Let me see.
I think I was scrolling Facebook a couple days ago. Someone was asking, I guess, what console's best. I was like, well, it kind of depends what game you want to play. They all have their advantages, disadvantages.
Yeah, PS5. It's only PS5. But to piggyback off what you say, a lot of people come to me at the game store and they tell me like, oh, hey, like, what do you think is best? So I look at it this way. You look at one, I say exclusives. Exclusives and game, was it just game status? Anything that is playable, anything that's more worth your bang for your buck. If you want gaming, PlayStation.
Okay.
If you want entertainment, Xbox.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because remember, Xbox came in, the Xbox One anyway, came in as a family entertainment system. Trying to mimic the Nintendo Famicom system, basically. But it did. I mean, it had all those gadgets and everything for the Famicom or the the regular Nintendo, what we know here in the States. But now you have the Xbox One that has the Kinect. It has, what other accessories it comes with. But you can interact with the Kinect. You have Kinect games that you can interact with the Kinect. You can put your cable into it.
I thought that was interesting.
I thought that was interesting too. Because it's a really seamless setup for the most part. You can do so many different things with the Xbox. So if you want entertainment, you want to hook your Netflix up to it, I think at that time you could have done it with the PS4 as well, or even the PS3 and the 360. So you could do all that, right?
With the disc. Netflix came on a disc.
Yeah, it did came on a disc twice. But other than that, like, you could have done pretty much a lot of different things with the Xbox when it came to your entertainment.
Yes.
So exclusives, PlayStation, entertainment, Xbox. I mean, Xbox used to be the multiplayer haven for a while. They was the number one competitive multiplayer scene.
Yes, if you wanted to play with friends, you grab an Xbox.
Yep. You did. Everyone had an Xbox, or someone did, and you went and played at their house.
Yes. Someone had an Xbox. Someone had the Ethernet cord.
Oh, so funny that you say that, actually. Funny that you say that. So I was in college.
Yeah.
I was tired of going to my buddies' places and playing online for Call of Duty, right? So I had a 360 in the dorm, and I was like, man, what can I do? Because we have internet here. How can I do this? How can I go ahead and do this without like trying to figure out how to get a password for this? Because there was a firewall, the rest of the good stuff. And I'm like, man. So I had a little Chromebook that I'd used. So I'm like, the Chromebook has Ethernet connector. I'm already connected to the Xbox. I'm already connected to the internet. So my brain started thinking, light bulbs started coming on. Not one, not two, but at least 6.
Yeah.
And I go to the store, I get an Ethernet cord, I get like a little 10-footer, nothing too big. And I connected it from my Chromebook to my Xbox. And lo and behold, I could play online.
Okay.
That's crazy.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I was a little innovative little bastard at that time. I was like, oh my God, yes. So I'm here playing Black Ops, ruining lives. And I'm like, oh, football practice soon. That's okay.
Right.
I'll get a couple more matches in, So yeah, that was my experience with the 360, the competitive multiplayer scene anyway. Because it was Modern Warfare 2 that really got me into playing like online Xbox. And then watching Dad play it like 50 million different times.
Come over.
Like, yeah. Oh, I'm just playing Call of Duty. Like, Dad, didn't you play this like 6 times the other day? Well, yeah, son, but it gets better every time. Fine.
He got me into Gears of War.
Yeah. Oh, that's his jam.
Mm-hmm.
That's his jam.
I only played the first 3. I stopped playing after the third one.
Oh, I think I only played 1 and 2.
1 and 2. Okay.
Yeah, me and my buddy Frank Gutierrez, Frank the Tank, Frank Rock. That's my boy.
Mm-hmm.
We went to high school together, and he came over to the house, and it was a Saturday morning. It was after one of our football games, and I was like, you know what? Let's play Gears of War. And he's like, hey, I'll do you one better. Let's just beat the thing from start to finish. And I'm like, sure, yeah, we can do it.
Oh my gosh. Was it like
That took us like 12 hours, bro.
Yeah.
That was a whole work day and a half.
That game is long.
I was like, yo, this is crazy. So we eventually got it beat before Dad got home because we weren't going to get the Xbox after that. It was like maybe like 30 minutes before he got home.
Right.
We beat it. I was like, yes, thank God. So yeah, Gears of War was his jam too. I think he plays it here and there.
Does he?
Yeah, I've seen him play it like a little while ago, but he's on that Destiny grind. He's over there. He's like, great. Just saying his famous line.
Right.
Oh boy,
I put my boots up. But
on Destiny.
Yeah.
No, I told you about I told you I got him Elite controller for his birthday.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
Yeah.
Did I say it on the podcast or did I say it?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll share it with everybody.
So explain an Elite controller.
So an Elite controller is the equivalent of the Xbox like superior like tournament edition type controller where it has back paddles.
Okay. I was like,
so basically it's kind of like a heavier controller and Padre's got some big paws, So I bought it just because I know he was talking about his controllers messing up here and there, and he's like, "Hey, son, can you give me another controller?" So I actually bought him 2.
I don't know why this guy go through so many controllers,
so many consoles, so many controllers. Like what?
I come over another controller. What the heck?
So yeah, he's got like 5 or 6 just chilling there.
Right.
Well, he did until I wiped him out.
Oh, okay.
Until I wiped him out.
Yeah.
So. Basically, yeah, it's kind of like one of those tournament edition type controllers. It's you can adjust the triggers and stuff like that for those who don't know what an Elite Series controller is. And I'm not trying to mansplain, but there's some people out there that don't know. So
yeah, I mean,
thank you for asking me to clarify that.
I was like, it's nothing that I would get, but
change your life. It'll change your life. It will. I'm telling you,
it'll change your life, sir.
Yeah,
maybe later.
Yeah. And so the first attempt was I got him a red one.
Yeah,
it was new. It was brand new. So actually, I got a white one. I got the core, and I bought the components with it because it was pre-owned, and I was like, all right, well, it's gonna save me a little bit of money.
Right,
it's gonna have a controller. Okay, I bought that all with my money, and then I used it, and I was like, oh, the stick doesn't work. So I'm like, all right, I got to bring it back. And so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna get a new one. So just swap it out, give me a new one. So I got the swap on it. I brought it to Dad. It was a red one. I was like, hey, Pop, I got you Elite controller. He's like, oh, for me? He's like,
well.
you know how he is. He doesn't, he's pretty stoic because he's like, thanks. If you all could see his face when he does that, it's just so stoned faced. And it's like, man, all right. Well, I know he appreciates it. It just externally doesn't show it very much. So then he goes, he's like, hey, son, I charged this thing for about 24 hours and it doesn't work. I was like, huh? It's brand new. What are you talking about? He goes, look, I played it for about 10, 15 minutes. It doesn't work. I'm like, Dad, let me check something out. He goes, no, son, it doesn't work. I'm like, let me just check something out, Dad, please.
Did he? All right, go ahead.
So go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, did he have was it not plugged in properly?
No, he used Mom's laptop to charge it. So I was like, wait, why are you using the laptop? It's like, it was the only thing I could find. I'm like, Dad,
it's not going to.
It's like, come on. So I took it into my room, put it in a brick, and let it charge. I let it charge for a day.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, Dad, it should be good. I saw him the next day. He was off. So I go to work. I work both jobs. I come back, and then he goes, "Son did it again." I'm like, this is no way. He goes, "Look, it's broken. Okay, like we've tried everything we could." I was like, "We just charged it once. What are you talking about?"
Right.
So I was like, "All right, fine. I'll just take it back. I'll just get a whole new one." So I took it back. I took it back, got a whole new one. I got a blue one this time, and I was like, "Well, do you still want the components with it? Because I'll take that back too." He's like, "No. Let me have that. Let me have
so
that."
you can add
You can add.
to. Okay.
Yeah, you can add the little back paddles on it because you can have it. So the core comes without all that.
Mm-hmm.
The black one, which is the original one that comes out, comes with the carrying case and charging block and all that.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, so I bought it for him just because I thought it'd be easier for him to kind of have, and he can have it in a little thing and all the rest. You know how he takes care of his stuff.
Yeah.
And so I get the blue one and bring it back. I'm like, all right, Dad, this should work. He's like, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how this thing's work.
Yes, that's exactly. He's already skeptical. He's already pissed that he has to do a whole new controller. And so he used it. I had seen him for a couple of days. I'd be working and I'd come home and I'd go to sleep. Mm-hmm. And then him and Mom would be asleep already. And he goes, "Yeah, son. So I've been playing this thing for the last week." And I haven't had to charge it. And I was like, okay. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I mean, do you like it? He goes, yeah. So when can we get another one? I was like, what? Dad, I just bought you that for your birthday. What are you talking about? He goes, well, I don't have any other controllers because you took them. But I was like, all right, Dad, well, we'll figure something out for Christmas or something like that. I know they're going to be on sale soon. So yeah, now the mission is to get him another one. But I got to figure out what color he wants because he doesn't want the red one because of the past experience he had with that. And then the white one is just too plain for him. Mm-hmm. So, he's got a blue.
Do you know if Xbox still allows you to design your controller?
Yes, they do. So that's why I'm probably. Oh, you want to go in on that?
Sure.
Oh, your controller's coming soon.
Oh, perfect.
Yes,
sweet.
Yes, I don't know what day. It's supposed to be this month, but I don't know what day.
Okay,
but your controller should be coming in. So I just bought an Astrobot controller, and it's really nice. But your 30th anniversary PS5 controller will be here soon.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
I'll have to get another charging deck.
Yeah, you will.
So I can have
at least 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, we really got off the beaten path. We really did. So we are going to
talk about the PSP.
The PSP. The PSP. We got the pisser, and now we got the PSP.
All right. So now we are here at the main event. We're going to talk about the PSP.
The PSP.
It was originally announced at E3 in 2003.
Yeah, May of 2003.
May of 2003. Mm-hmm. Kind of sad, I guess I'll never experience E3.
Oh, wow. We have CES, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
I guess it's just showing off your product.
Yeah, the CES is good, but E3 definitely was something that I would have wanted to experience.
Mm-hmm.
But now we have the infamous Summer Games Fest and Winter Games Fest and all the rest of that good stuff. And that's become more of a publicity thing than anything. Right. I guess that'd be the closest to what we'd have to experience for an E3. But I think E3 would have been more, just because I feel that there was more to be offered through that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And games are great because we love games.
Yeah.
But systems, other things like computer stuff, whatever. I feel that Summer Games Fest doesn't bring those types of
same
things.
Feel.
Okay. Yeah.
More like we're looking for. I don't know. I haven't been to one. Not so much suits oriented party, but does it have missing that feel of something where it's just for gamers?
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, I feel it's not as genuine as E3 was.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. Genuine.
Not as genuine. I feel again, Oh yeah, we'll show you some stuff, and you see like a 30-second trailer or something like that. Sometimes you'll see some gameplay, depending on how long it's been developed, right?
Yeah.
But you'll see like a 30-second trailer of something, and then never hear of it again, and
For months.
and it's just like, man, I don't know. I don't. A lot of people always complain. That's the other thing too. People complain about it. It's like, oh, well, this Summer Games Fest sucked this year. Blah blah blah. Okay, well, let's go on the other side of this real quick. Just because you didn't see games you liked doesn't mean that it sucked.
Right.
For other people.
Yeah.
You obviously just didn't like what was presented.
Yeah.
And you can give your opinion, right? You can give your piece. I get it, but don't try to ruin it for everybody else. And that's, again, when we talked about in our in a previous podcast about this elitism that we have as gamers,
yes,
especially in the community. Like, just stop it. Like, there's no room for that. There's no sense for it. And just because you thought you were the man in high school, right? And you ooze douchebaggery ever since then doesn't mean you got to keep doing that, because
put that on a shirt.
Right. Ooze douchebaggery.
Yeah.
like seriously. I mean, literally they come in bottles, but I mean, we'll go with the bag, right? But my thing is that, okay, yeah, I get it, but you don't got to be like that,
right?
We got to be better. We got to be better. Got to be, But yeah, I wish we could have experienced an E3. I remember seeing like highlights of it on YouTube back in the day when YouTube was in its infancy. Yeah. And yeah, it was always an experience to see, because like you saw all the booths and everything like that. You saw like all the sections, like you had Xbox, Nintendo, you had PlayStation, you had like subsections of things, you had PC, you had other systems that you'd never heard of, and you could play games. I'm not saying you couldn't do it at Summer Games Fest by any means, but
it just seems, at least from footage that I've seen recently, it's more of you're just watching some rendered, don't really have hands on the game, just like you mentioned, depending on how far they are in development.
Yeah, and I'm guessing, I'm more than sure that there are some hands-on stuff that you can play, right? You can play an alpha or maybe even a beta or something, but it's not so much. It's not so much to where it's like, I don't know, man. Just things were different back in the day.
Oh yeah, companies were spending stupid money for
just a couple days of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Companies are spending stupid money on what spot they can get on what trailer people can watch.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll be the first one. I'll give you $50 million and a bowl of ramen noodles.
Boom. There you go.
But the PSP, E3, 2003.
E3, the PSP, as you'd say, was developed by Sony Entertainment, manufactured by Sony Electronics. It had a price tag released in the US. The price tag was $250.
Yeah.
For Japan, I guess it was 19,800 yen.
I think that's a bit more than what we had to pay.
Yeah.
It was a bit more. I think. Yeah, it was a bit more. I think it's like $290, almost $300.
Jeez,
in conversion.
Hot diggity dog.
So now that we're on track of the PSP, it's going to sound like we're going off again, but just to give everyone a synopsis on why the PSP was created. Remember, Nintendo took control of the handheld.
So this was early 2000s.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they took control of the handheld. What was their first system? Their first system was Game & Watch back in the early 90s.
Yes.
And then it had great success. And then this was right around the time where PlayStation, or Sony and Nintendo were going to make the CD drive for the Nintendo. And I think back in 91, I think it was the next year, didn't say anything to Sony about what their plans were. And they have said their allegiance to Philips. And Sony was like, well, what the fuck? Like, what?
Right.
So we don't want to do this. And so they moved on. They wanted to go ahead and collab with Sega. And Sega said, nope, we want no parts of you.
Mm-mm-mm.
And then that's what created back in 94, 95, the Sony PlayStation. So
I
now,
tried. The original intro music.
So now the drive to the PSP was the success for the PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
So now Nintendo is starting to get moved out the way, home console wise.
Yes.
Yeah, the Nintendo, you had the Super Nintendo. Great systems, right? Now they're starting to get moved out the way. Now you got N64. N64 wasn't bad. It was a great system too, but PlayStation was still moving them out the way. Yeah. Now, then the DS came out. Now this is where we start running into the PSP. The DS comes out. What was it? Early 2000? I think it was 2001.
Let's see.
DS comes out. Then we have shortly after the PSP. 6 months after. So it was in 2003. So 6 months after that E3 release.
Mm-hmm. So Nintendo DS came out November 21st of 2004.
Yeah, 4. Okay. So that was beforehand. Okay. I thought the DS came out before that.
Which one came out first? The 3DS or just the DS?
The DS. The DS came out first.
Then the 3DS. Okay.
So
yeah, it does feel like it came out before.
Yeah, I thought the DS came out before, but that's okay. That's all right. That's all right. My mistake. So here's the deal. Now the PSP is out. The PSP, I believe it's...
Well, one moment.
Go ahead.
The PSP came out.
PSP.
Initially released in Japan December 12th of 2004. Then it came to the States March 24th of 2005. Then later to the PAL region September 1st of 2005.
Okay, so the DS did come out first, technically. So where did I get 6 months from? What the hell? I don't know. Anyway, that was my bad. So the PSP came out and it had PS2-like graphics because it was right around the time where everyone was expecting the PS3, but people were also expecting, well, when are they going to come out with a handheld? Because the PS1 and PS2 has been so great. So now we're going to be entering a market where, maybe we can knock off Nintendo.
Right.
Right?
And, okay. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of handhelds, but
Game Boy Advance was great. Game Boy Advance is amazing. But yeah, now we're thinking, hey, we can knock these guys off. And then now we have a system that has damn near PS2 graphics, or just about.
Like a PS2 in your hand.
Yeah, it was pretty much what it was. I can't remember how many units were sold the first week. I think it was like 200,000 units.
Mm-hmm. It was a high number.
It was 200,000 units its first week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, with the PSP, you had some pretty good games. You had some exclusives like NBA Inside the NBA, or I think it's called NBA. It was called Inside the NBA, and then it got turned into NBA or something like that. That game was probably one of the most immersive handheld basketball games there was at the time. And quite a few other things. Metal Gear Solid had 2 or 3. Yeah, but Metal Gear Solid had like 3 entries.
That's right. What was it? Acid,
Portable Ops, and Peace Walker. And unfortunately, I don't believe that they're canon.
Right.
I think Peace Walker's canon, but Portable Ops and Acid are not. Acid was more of a card game.
Okay.
It was more of a card game. Weird, but yeah. Gosh, I mean, you had Grand Theft Auto, Liberty City Stories, and Vice City Stories that came out. So you had continuations or side stories of what happened in these great games that we spent hours playing.
Yes, and both of those were very good games.
They came out with the UMD disc. Was it the Universal Media
Universal Media Disc? Yes.
Okay. So, and that had the big thing about that was the security system on it, so you couldn't pirate these things.
So that's why they went with those. Okay.
Yeah.
Instead of a cartridge.
But here's the thing, though. What type of like connection would you use for that? You know what I mean? Like, where would you be able to stick a UMD disc to go ahead and rip it?
Oh. I don't know. I mean,
I'm sure there's something out there. Yeah, but at that time, we were all either teenagers or we were all either teenagers or going into our early 20s. No one knew anything about that. No one wanted to know. So they had that, I think it was the first time that they were able to get a small disc to carry 1.8 gigs of memory.
Oh, wow.
Of information. Sorry, not memory, information.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they had games? They were able to do music videos and movies.
Movies, yes. I remember I had Ghostbusters, the first one.
The first Ghostbusters. I remember Steve. So Steve bought his. I didn't own one, but Steve bought his PSP. His PSP with Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. And what was it? It came, I believe, didn't it come with like a demo disc as well, a demo UMD?
I'm not sure.
Because there was one where there was like 3 songs on there that had like 3 music videos that we'd watch them all the time. All the time. Because, we ain't had no money.
Yeah.
We were just over here just enjoying what we had.
Yeah.
And I think he had another game too. I can't remember. But we always like swapped those. So he'd play on the PlayStation or the Xbox, or which system we had out at the time. I'd play on the PSP, and then we vice versa. But yeah, you were able to watch movies. You were able to play games, watch music videos. I remember
connect to the internet.
Yeah, connect to the internet.
It did make use of the SD card slot. So like you said, you can watch music videos, photos.
Oh yeah, that's right. They had photos. Or you could store photos. I don't think you could take them.
Correct.
You could store them.
Correct. You can store them and look at them on your PSP. I think it had a remote feature. I think that's what turned me on to wanting to get one. But obviously, for the game that I wanted.
I believe it wasn't a remote feature for the PS3, though.
Yes. And I was looking forward to using it for Gran Turismo as a rear view mirror, but that never came to fruition.
Oh, a rear view mirror.
Yeah.
Okay. You going to tape it on the TV or what?
I don't know. But it would have been nice to have that.
Yeah.
Or at least for some game, but hey.
Yeah, so we go into this, and we're excited. All the rest of that good jazz. And yeah, right now that this has come out after the Nintendo DS, the DS is now kind of getting moved to the wayside right now because we have a game, a handheld game that looks damn near close to the actual native PS2. Yes, sign me up. Sign me up. And then the DS wasn't supposed to be anything that was of great quality. It was just a standalone
handheld, or a handheld that they just wanted to put out there.
It was to be alongside, what was it at the time? Was it the GameCube? No.
Yeah, because the GameCube shortly before 04.
It was a standalone to the Game Boy Advance. No, Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Color. I'm not sure, but it was supposed to be just there, just to assist in other game consoles that they had, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it wasn't anything that they put any type of huge graphical things into it. If you play N64 Super Mario 64, and then you play Super Mario 64 on the DS, you're gonna want to play it on the 64, because I remember we had it, and it didn't look great.
Really?
No, it did not.
So they just threw something out there?
Yeah, they threw something out there.
So,
and go ahead. No, what were you saying?
I was just thinking, as far as the Wii U, like, does this kind of take, like, were they using this as a testing ground for the Wii U? Do you know?
To be honest with you, it could have been a testing ground for the Wii.
Okay, the Wii. Okay.
I would say so. I would say so anyway. But yeah. So you got the PSP. Starting to outsell the DS, and then now we're thinking, okay. So here lies the problem. A lot of people weren't in the market to buy movies and music videos for their PSP.
And it was kind of weird.
Yeah, I thought it was weird. Well, they said it was the Walkman of the 21st century.
Okay, that makes sense. But then, you kind of want to watch movies at home.
Yeah, on
surround
TV.
sound.
Right.
Not so much
eating
your battery. I think that's what the original issue was, or one of the issues with the initial release. Yeah. The battery was gulp, gulp, gulp. Or they were expanding.
So then now you're trying to appease a large market. I mean, you already got people who love PlayStation already, so they're going to buy it.
Me.
Yeah, right. Me too. I didn't buy it, however. But now you have so many different, I guess, what's the word I want to put? You're a jack of all trades, but master of none.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You have so many things going on. You have more people buying games, but then I looked and I think the percentage of games being bought were about 2 games for every 2 years.
Okay.
So just think, for every person that's bought a PSP, 2 games for every 2 years.
I mean, that's on par for me. I mean,
yeah, right. So, I mean, 2 games is not a lot to somebody, but if you got a couple 100,000 people buying 2 games, that could mount to something, right?
Yeah.
But then you look at the DS and say you get somebody that gets a DS, right? And Mario 64, anybody who's between the ages of 18 and 40 right now, we'll just give that example. What, Mario 64? I remember playing this when I was a kid. You know how many people would buy Mario 64?
Yeah, a lot.
Damn near 90, probably about 90% of the people that bought a DS.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, that still beats out for every 2 games a year, or for every 2 games for 2 years. That beats that out, and depending on the price,
right?
So, man, it's very defeating talking about this because the PSP had such potential. Yeah, I see you laugh. you like that,
Every
huh?
time,
I've always called it the PSP. I always called it that. But it had so much potential, but it did a lot of updates and everything like that. It did so many different things. And one of the big things for the PSP was the XMB menu. If you remember that one, a lot of people were really looking forward to that when the PS3 came, right? And I think it was shortly after the PSP came out, the PS3 came out, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that was kind of like the XMB was kind of like a huge thing. You can have the in-game menu and all the rest of that good stuff, which was cool. That was a really, really cool innovation.
PS3 released November 11th, 2006.
2006. Okay. It was 2 years later. But then now, this is before they even started doing the PSP 2000 and the PSP 3000.
Yeah, they were not wasting time making revisions to this thing. I was like, holy
They weren't, but they were coming out with so many different softwares because here's the downfall. Here's the downfall. This is where we're going to get to the negative. A lot of people were pirating.
As well, for the games or
for the games, they're making their own homebrews.
Okay, yeah.
They're making their own homebrews. They had a system where you could find a way to revert the firmware to a previous firmware, so you wouldn't have to go through all that. I mean, and obviously, for every update that came, Sony found a way to patch that, but there was always like 5 or 6 other ones that were exploitable.
Yeah.
So then now, Sony's coming out saying, well, we believe that, piracy, the software of our piracy the piracy of our software, holy cow, is not feasible to our company because now we are losing money. And you know what? In today's day and age, rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
I agree.
Rightfully so. I wasn't with the whole piracy thing. I still don't really do I'm not saying that this is piracy, but the Game Pass and all risk stuff, I don't do that either because I don't think that the money that's owed to the people that actually make it goes to them in a rightful manner. But what I am going to say is that then, now it's destroying a product. There was a couple guys, Dark Alex Dark Alex was one of the bigger PSP modders who had a whole website and everything like that. And you can go ahead and modify your PSP the way you wanted to with it. But then he had mentioned that he was going to get out of the scene because of the whole thing, the hostility that Sony was given to pirating at that time.
Okay.
So he was getting out. And then there was something, oh God, I can't remember. I think it's called HOL or something like that, or BOL, something like that. It was made by AB5000 and Mosquito. Those were the 2 people. And they had a whole homebrew site that you can go to and just homebrew your PSP.
Okay.
So
as far as customizing, I guess, whatever you want, or downloading games,
customizing, whatever it is you wanted, reverting the firmware. Like, yeah, like it wasn't that there wasn't so much. If it wouldn't have been a problem if they would have just stuck to one thing, I think that. And then also, if they didn't have so many damn revisions for it.
Oh, yeah, because let's see. So what would we say? The PSP came out in '05. By 2007, they already made a slimmer model, I guess. Gave it a little brighter screen. Then by 2008, we're already on their third or fourth revision.
2008, that should be the 3000, correct? The
Correct.
3000.
Yes.
And then
2009, they dropped the PSP Go.
Yeah, so that one had the slide up thing, like what they were doing with phones at that time, right?
Yeah.
I'll slide up with a keyboard or the sidekick. I swear to God, anyone out there, let me tell you something right now. You know what? I'm not a judgmental man, but I'm going to do it right now. If you had a sidekick, let me tell you something. You thought you were the coolest person ever, and I thought you were cool too until I met you, and then you were oozing of douchebaggery once again.
Right.
Like, I'm so sick of you. You think you're so cool, flipping up your screen. I hope that thing flies off. I remember one time I actually said that to somebody just jokingly. This was in college. Yeah. Somebody that had the sidekick, they would and that was the weird thing too. So when I went off to college, I realized a lot of people had two phones.
Really?
Yeah.
Why did they?
I was 21.
Well, was one that their parents got them? Another one was their own that they got?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know, but they both had service, so I'm not sure. I don't know if anyone had sugar mamas or sugar daddies. I'm not sure, but I will tell you this. I remember vividly. I think I was 21. So most people that I went to school with at that time were younger. 17 turning 18, some coming in 19, some coming in at 20. But I do remember seeing that, and I'm like, huh. Like, I know we're kind of in the same generational gap here, but
yeah.
I've never known this or even thought to do this or even
have two phones.
Right. If I had two phones, our parents would be like, "The fuck you doing with two phones?"
Yes, they would.
like what? What are you doing with two phones? What are you doing that you're not supposed to be? Well, I don't know. And then then like Dad says, the I don't know ghost comes back.
What did do, grow legs?
Yeah. Well, didn't grow legs walk away? Well, who ate the Nutri-Grain bars? Nutri-Grain. Also, side note, a little story here. So we used to live in an apartment, all five of us, and we'd all hang out in Eric's room.
Teenagers.
Yeah, you were already a teenager.
We were hungry.
Yeah, we were hungry, and so
growing boys.
Yeah, so if there was Nutri-Grain bars in the house, the box would probably be gone the next day, and this is how it went. And so what ended up happening was, he's chuckling, he's laughing. I'm telling the story. Finally, I can tell a story without dying because you thought it was fucking hilarious. I thought it was funny too, but not as funny as you think it is.
God.
But so we're over here we know that Dad's going to be coming home soon, right? So my dad worked 24-hour shifts. And so we had a window of time to do whatever the heck we wanted when we wanted.
Yeah.
Without getting in trouble. We really didn't do much, though.
No.
We didn't. We really
Nothing
didn't.
to get in trouble.
No, nothing to get in trouble. But it's like, if we wanted to step outside, get some fresh air, something like that, maybe go see a friend for an hour or two. We did that because we weren't allowed to leave the house. Sorry, Dad. Forgive me. Sorry. But, yeah, so we sent go get us some Nutri-Grain bars. So he goes in there. And then my dad gets home. And we're like, oh crap! He's we hope to God he's hidden or something like that. He's like, hey, what are you doing in our room? What are you doing in our room? Nutri-Green. Nutri-Grain, Dad. Nutri-Grain. Nutri-Green. No, I tell you to get in our room. Oh yeah.
I remember them being the green one. What was it the apple cinnamon?
Apple cinnamon, yeah.
So good.
Oh, yeah. So good. I just had the blueberries the other day.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I still make them. Oh. I'm sure they don't taste.
They do.
They still taste the same. Probably
depends.
not.
Depends on how long it sits in the box.
Oh, okay.
You get some ones that this hadn't been bought in a while. So I'm like a Pop-Tart connoisseur, if I bite into it, it's like, this is a fresh one. This is a fresh one. And if I bite into another one and I'm like, okay, this has been sitting. And I usually throw the whole box away because usually all of them are like that. Yeah, I'm that bougie.
Like, done.
But that also goes to show that I don't need to be eating them that much anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, back to the piss. Back to the piss. Back to the piss.
All right. So 2009, we had the PSP Go. And then 2011, they did another revision. I guess they call it like a PSP Street.
Yes. So it was all digital.
Really?
It was all digital.
Oh, wow.
It was very small too. It was like literally probably the size
of your hand.
Yeah, size of your hand.
Why?
It didn't sell well. Let's just put it that way.
I mean, then, well, they're probably ahead of the curve. Look at it now. Everyone plays their mobile games on their cell phone. You don't think
yes and no? I would say yes because yes, everyone like
at least
you said,
over there. I know Japan they play a lot of mobile games.
They do a lot of mobile games over there. Here, on the other hand, we do mobile games, but not like that. You know what I mean? That's very niche to us, unless like you play RPGs like me and you do, or anything like that. Not a lot of us here play RPGs.
No,
everything's and what was it? You know what? What's his name? Who did Metal Gear Solid? God dang it. Hideo Kojima.
Yeah,
Hideo Kojima said it best. And at first I thought he was just being salty because no one liked Death Stranding. Because I certainly don't. If I wanted to play a walking simulator, I would go out for a walk myself.
Yeah, when I heard about that, I was like, that's different. I don't know if I'll play it. I haven't played it yet, but
I have it. I have it. If you want to borrow it, you're more than welcome to.
Okay.
But I haven't played it myself. Just because I've seen gameplay on it already. I'm like, not really something I'm interested in, but at some point I'm going to have to. If I have it, at some point I'm going to have to play it. And then the second one's going to be coming out soon anyway. He said it best. He goes, the only reason why my game is not even remotely respected is because of the West, because of all the first person shooters that we play. And he's not wrong. Now that I've gotten a little bit older after that, he's not wrong. Because Death Stranding came out, 2018, 2019?
Sounds about right. Let me check here.
I want to say it did. I want to say it's like 2018. As he's looking it up, typing away.
November 8th, 2019.
2019. Right? So that's what? 5-6 years from now?
Yeah.
5-6 years? But then I was like, oh, he's just salty. Like, no one wants a walking simulator boy game. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, again, if I wanted to do that, I'd put a bunch of shit on my back and I'd walk around myself and probably ruin myself, but I'd do it.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that the game is bad by any means. It's just different and not my thing, but I'm going to have to try it. I'm really going to have to try it because I can't knock it until I do it.
But now look at all these games that you have. Well, sidetrack, but Goat Simulator, Farming Simulator.
Oh, man. Goat Simulator. Great game. Great game. Farming Simulator. Well, I know I like my John Deere tractors and such. And I remember that irrigation system that went in 17. That's now 19. Boy, let me tell you. I'm going to go ahead and I light my cigarette and I go ahead and put the pipes together with my own controller. Let me tell you. Yeah, that combine's nice too.
See?
It changed me real quick. You know what I mean? Farming Simulator. But Farming Simulator is fun. I actually played it.
Oh, yeah?
I've actually played it. It's actually pretty fun. I have 21, I think.
Okay. I stayed away because those games are dangerous. I'll play them forever.
Yes, like Minecraft. Minecraft is pretty dangerous too. I'll be. You give me a whole day, I might lose it from Minecraft. But yeah, back to the piss. We've been sidetracking real good, right? But I mean, this has been good. I'm enjoying this. So yeah, so we had that last piss that came out. What was it? The PSP Street. Yeah, Streak or Streep? Street. 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 Excuse me?
Street. PSP Street.
Who the fuck calls something a street? See, I didn't catch that at first. I didn't catch that at all.
I guess they wanted to be hip or something.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, that was completely digital. No one bought it. Nobody bought it. But that was kind of the end of the PSP line. Well, I mean, yeah, the Vita afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
No, I didn't dabble too much with the Vita. But I know the Vita is well known in the homebrew community to mod the hell out of, because you can actually put native PS2 games on there.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And it looks like a PS2 game.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is. I'm with all the stuff that we've got now with Sony, I'm surprised that they stopped even supporting the system. Maybe not the store. You don't have to support the store by any means, right? Because we still have the PS3, the PS4 store, which also is now the PS5 store, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, the beer's coming back up on me. But now, like, if they were to support the Vita still, do you realize how viable the Vita could be? Because you could still do remote play. You do remote play on PS4. You could move that to PS5, but now we have the Portal, which I would say modability wise, the Portal is not going to be it.
Right. That's probably why they dropped it, I guess. I don't know.
You know, so I mean, what they're going to drop? They're going to drop another Portal?
I don't think.
But
so.
you know, they have been talking about a new PSP coming out. PSP coming out now.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? There's.
Well, hold on.
Is there a market out there?
There is a market because remember, Nintendo's the only system, the only company that has a stronghold on it. Again, you have all the other ones, all the PC ones and all the rest of the good stuff, but they're not really making much headway.
Right.
They're really not. That's for the people who play on PC, not handheld. Xbox hasn't got a handheld. Oh, well, no. There wasn't there a phone or something that came out? Well, a true handheld. A true handheld.
Yeah.
Xbox doesn't even have a true handheld.
But I mean, I don't think Xbox really needs one since, you know, most of their stuff is cloud gaming, so they can just take their laptop with them.
Right. But who wants to bring that big bulky thing when I can literally have like something that can fit in my hand?
Yeah.
That's more of an inconvenience if I had to take my laptop. Now I got to find a table. Now I got to sit down. Now I got to have a nice comfy chair. My gaming chair's at home. But I can sit in the cafe and be like, damn, my back hurts, but this game is great.
I'm sure you'll find gamers find a way.
I'm sure they do, but it's more stuff to carry. It's more stuff to deal with. And it's like, nah, I'm good. Like, give me a handheld and I'm good.
I guess. I don't know.
I
said, I'm not a handheld.
I'm grabbing the mic right now. I'm grabbing the mic. So, listeners, comment on YouTube. Comment on our on our YouTube and let us know what you think.
Yeah,
because I think Xbox needs a handheld. If they're going to get out of the console race, if they're not successful now, and I'm sure they're going to come out with another system for the next generation. Right. I find it very hard to believe, you know, Phil Spencer.
Too quiet for you.
Well, not only that, but Phil Spencer, you know, with his like his jargon and whatnot, like, oh, we're not going to come out if we don't have these numbers by 2026 or 2027, blah, blah, blah. Look, you have way too many loyal customers to even think that you should be saying something like that, number one. And then now, after that's been said, look at all these games that are coming out right now and not even going on the Xbox. For instance, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. Let me tell you, probably one of the best collections that's going to be coming out in the coming years. Yeah, I said it. The best. Just because it has all the Marvel versus games on there. And we said it in the last podcast that just came out, that came out a little while ago. The only reason why Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I can't talk today for some odd reason, is good is because there was nothing like it back then when it came out. You never seen a crossover like that.
No. That big anyway. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
and
nothing.
It was insane. The game was insane. The playability was insane. You had endless opportunities, endless possibilities to play that game with 56 characters. And then how they set up that whole game with the point system and all the rest of that good stuff to buy characters, buy costumes, buy music, or I don't know if you bought music, but whatever. You had to buy stuff with the points that you got in the game. It successfully made you play the game and enjoy it. Right?
Yeah.
So tell me how this collection comes out. A lot of people like this series, especially in the fighting game community, and it's not on Xbox.
Yeah, that one's weird.
No, it's not weird. It's not weird because let's be real. Xbox is not a fighting game system. You go to any tournament, Xbox is not played on there.
Okay.
It's PlayStation. It is straight up PlayStation. I know there's some tournaments that do PC, Some, I know Tekken is one of them. Maybe Street Fighter. But Street Fighter's crossplay between PlayStation, Xbox, and PS5. I mean, yeah, PlayStation and Xbox, and PC. But every fighting tournament is PlayStation specifically. You never heard of Xbox being in a fighting tournament? I mean, there are separate ones, right?
Right.
But no one
nothing
talks about
like
that.
Nothing put on by Xbox, right?
Right. No.
Xbox not putting up the money. Yeah.
No, it's PlayStation because now they own Evo, or they're partnered with Evo.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing, they have to do something if they want to do something with their cloud gaming, because remember, PC isn't accessible to all their cloud gaming. If you want to do the original Xbox games, you want to do 360 games, I can't do that on my PC. Mm-hmm. I actually have to have an Xbox in order to do that. So now I have to go shell out money, which I'm going to do anyway, because again, I said earlier, I need to complete the set.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to buy those, if I want to play those games again, and I already bought them, I just can't access them. So, I mean, what's with your cloud gaming there, Xbox? you need to get that shit figured out, because it's very, very frustrating. Very frustrating that I can't play those games and I bought them. Especially if you're talking about cloud gaming, well, then make sure you make a handheld that's applicable to all games, that make it comfortable to play, and all the rest of that good jazz. They need a handheld. They do.
Okay. Well, Xbox, get on it.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for?
Get on it. But I'm waiting. What do you think? You think they need a handheld?
Can't you play them on your phone? Do the Xbox app?
Brother.
What?
Brother.
You...
Brother. Really? Like, yes, you can play them on your phone.
Okay.
But who's going to buy a $50 million phone to try to play it on this? Who's going to want to do that?
I don't know.
Everyone wants to text, watch YouTube, and sleep. That's it. That's it. Nobody wants to play their handheld games on their phone. I mean, yeah, you got the ones that play Call of Duty and Genshin Impact and all the rest of good stuff. I thought about downloading Genshin Impact on my phone, but I was like, no, I have a PlayStation for that.
Right.
You know, like there's some games that I would rather just sit down and veg out on instead of trying to play Fable 2 on my phone.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying or no?
I get it.
Okay.
No, I don't think Xbox will put the effort into creating a handheld.
I
don't think they will.
I mean, and you might be right. You might be right. That they won't, but no one's going to want to do that on their phone for so long. You know what I mean? Like, no one's going to want to be like, oh, well, I have my phone. But then when you get a text message, then what? I have to answer this text.
Right.
I got to pause my game. Especially if you're playing online. There's no pausing. There's no pausing.
No pausing on online play.
Right. No pausing. There's, what is it? There's no sex in the champagne room. Right?
Yeah.
So if you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If not, don't worry about it. I just do that out there for shits and giggles.
Talking about.
Yeah, right. But if you, I am actually, I'm showing it hard. I'm showing it real hard. But yeah, Xbox needs to come out with one. That's just my opinion. Again, listeners, comment in the comment section on YouTube. I don't know if there's one on Spotify, but yeah, definitely comment so that we can
interact with you.
Yeah, we would like to interact. I know we've been working on trying to get hyperlinks into the other ones so that you can comment.
Mm-hmm.
But we're working on it. We're working on it. But yeah, that's all I got to say. That's all I got to say about the PSP.
So a few more things about the PSP.
Oh, okay.
They did release 1,370 games during its 10-year lifespan. The launch games for the PSP included Ape Escape on the Loose, Darkstalkers Chronicles, The Chaos Tower, Dynasty Warriors. What is this? Lumines? Lumines. Lumines.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Metal Gear Acid, Need for Speed Underground Rivals, NFL Street 2, Unleashed, Ridge Racer, Spider-Man 2, Tiger Woods.
Where it's at.
Is it?
Oh yeah, I love Ridge.
Played that game in a long time.
Soundtrack for that game is amazing. Any of them.
We'll have to check it out. Tony Hawk Underground 2, Twisted Metal Head On, Untold Legends, Brotherhood of the Blade, Wipeout Pure, World Tour Soccer, Challenge Edition, then Wayne Gretzky NHL and NBA were North American exclusive launch titles. So the best-selling PSP game goes to, selling at 8 million copies, goes to Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. And other top-selling games include Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories, Monster Hunter Portable, Gran Turismo, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, Retro City Rampage DX. And that was the final game released on the PSP.
Yeah, the PSP. Overall, it's a pretty disappointing system in my mind.
You don't like it?
It's not that I don't like it. Again, it was more of a jack of all trades than it was what it was meant to be, which was a gaming handheld. And it was cool that they tried to make it the 21st century Walkman, but a lot of us already had Walkman already. You know what I mean? Like we already were listening to music with headphones connected to it.
Yes.
That were flimsy as shit and could break at any moment. Very positional. Sometimes you had to turn the prong that's in the Walkman to like either the left or the right to get something. Showing our age again. and then
hold it a certain way.
And then you had to have the Walkman that had the anti-skip.
Yeah.
Because Lord have mercy, if you did not have that and you were listening to your favorite song on the way to the bus stop, let me tell you,
Ruin
you
your
would have
day.
been pissed.
Yes.
You would have been mad as hell. So, but yeah, I think the PSP has paved a way, though. I really think it has. It has paved a way for somebody to step up to the plate and maybe do the same exact thing again, but in a different way.
Yeah. Got to crawl before you walk.
Right.
So I still have one. I enjoy it. I mean, I pull it every now and then, make sure it still works.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you gotta do that. You gotta make the moving parts work.
Let's see how this game works.
Yeah. But which one was it? Liberty City Stories or Vice City Stories?
As the
bestseller. The most sold, I think.
Liberty City.
I don't know. You said it was 1,300 games, right?
Yeah.
It didn't seem like it. It really didn't seem like it, even though I didn't own one.
I mean,
right?
I think that was worldwide. So we probably got half. But yeah.
Yeah, it just didn't seem like they had a lot of games. And I think that was the issue. I think that was that. And then the piracy, the homebrews and all the rest of the good stuff. I think that was, again, the biggest issue. But like I said, it's paved a way. It's a good formula. I think it's a good formula to maybe knock off Nintendo. I'm not saying I want Nintendo knocked off, but if we're looking at business decisions and everything like that.
What's best for business?
Yeah. What's best for
competition
business? Competition
is great.
Competition is great. But the way we're going right now, I'm thinking maybe the AA and single A games are going to be better at this point because holy cow.
Probably because they're just not as, I don't know, complicated, simple. Because people just want to chill.
I want a game that's going to ruin my life, like Elden Ring. You know what I mean? Like Dark Souls, like Shinobi, like DuckTales. Well, DuckTales wasn't that bad, but Lion King,
Aladdin.
You know what? That's what grew hair in my chest. Those games made me cry so many times, but I came back to it. I said, "No, I'm going to beat it today, bitch. I'm going to beat it today."
Speaking of those games, did you know Echo the Dolphin had like a boss, I guess? Like a boss
The one
stage?
for Sega?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I didn't even beat the game.
Either did I. I was, again, scrolling through Facebook.
Oh, shit.
Someone was talking about Echo. I was like,
Echo the Dolphin?
I don't even remember passing the first stage.
No, I don't ever either.
But yeah, apparently there's a lot of stages and there's like a boss battle. I was like, holy cow. But yeah, that game up there with Aladdin.
I want games like that. I want games to be brought back like that. I still want saves, though. I still want my checkpoints.
You want saves, yes. That is important.
Checkpoints for sure.
There's nothing like spending a long time going through a level just to die in the most ridiculous way and have to start.
Oh, I hit the corner of a wall. I died. Get the fuck out of here. So to wrap up the PSP, I'm going to see what the sales were for each.
Each version.
Each version, yeah. Because I think it was either the second version. Oh, so another thing going back to the 3000.
Mm-hmm.
The 3000 was actually worse than the 2000 because there was some screen latency.
I think, yeah.
There was some really bad screen latency, and they couldn't fix that with an update because it was a hardware issue. It was not a software issue. So another one that's gone down the shitter because of the PSP is the quality of how it's made.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do the sales real quick.
Check out some sales numbers.
So. You better keep that in there. You better keep that in there. You better keep that in there. You better keep that in there.
Same reaction. I'll keep it in there.
Yeah. My sister-in-law knocked over a bottle of water and I thought it didn't have a cap on it. And I was like, my life is over. There's electronics on this table and my hands and arms are on here. I'm going to get shocked and die. But all right. So the first PSP sold for 80 million units. I want to say that's correct. Oh,
yes, that is correct.
80 million units. Stop, buddy.
What?
I still insist it wasn't funny. Let's see. PSP. Why can't I get the sales here, man? Like,
because they take them off the internet, so you can't find them.
Well, I mean, I guess it's overall. I suppose 80 million units.
Yeah, because they'll bunch them together and make it look good. Hide those figures.
But see, the thing about it is, though, that 80 million units is probably true.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably true, as opposed to the Xbox Series X, PS5. Those are probably not true units being sold.
Right. I want to say Spawnwave talked about it back in the Xbox came out when the S and X came out. And they're saying Xbox is selling so many units, but they were hiding the figures between, or adding up both of the X and S sale numbers. But,
and they couldn't get an accurate reading.
Yeah, or just inflating the numbers, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, that's what they like to do. Well, that was my thing. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at the PSP 1000 right now. So this is the first run. So if you were to sell a PSP or buy a PSP, let's say if you're buying a PSP right now, loose, and this is the 1000 unit, loose is going to be $62. Complete in box, $150. If you've got it new and sealed, it's $500.
Holy cow. It's not bad.
If you got graded new, it's $550. Let's see. So this is all the accurate numbers off of price charting for that particular. Now the PSP 3000, if you're buying it loose, it's going to be at $120. Complete in box is $168. Sealed is $600, and graded new is $660.
Really?
So I mean, these are no joke. And then I guess here's the 1001 version. So I guess that in the first life cycle of it, where they had the second generation of the 1000, loose is $70, complete in box $141, new and sealed is $334.
I wonder what happened.
Graded is $368.
Jeez, I remember one time. Years ago, went to Games. Yes, a band.
Yeah,
went to GameStop. Kind of joked around with the guy. Hey, you got to take my PSP? He kind of laughed at me. So I guess years ago they weren't really popular, or I guess the resale market for them was not available yet.
Probably not, because I mean, you got to remember too. Again, doing that from a company who's never done a handheld wasn't heard of at the time. I mean, maybe Nintendo, yeah, because they've had Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Pocket. You know what I mean? Those have been around for years, but I don't know. At that time, yeah, I could see where it wouldn't have a value, but now it does. So this is the PSP Go. If you get it, if you were to buy it, it would be $148 loose, complete in box $228, new and sealed $388, graded new $427.
Nice little change there.
Not bad at all.
Oh, what about the PSP Street?
The PSP Street. I don't even want to look it up just because of the name. PSP Street.
So what was it 20?
You know what? The PSP Street doesn't even come up. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, it's probably still too recent. I think it's under, what was that say, 2011?
So I'm looking at this now. The 1001, there's a 1004 as well for the PSP.
Oh, really?
I'm guessing these are PAL versions.
Okay.
That's what I'm guessing. But let's see. We'll look this up and then we'll wrap this up because I think we've said enough about the handhelds, or of the PSP anyway. Which one are we going to talk about next?
As far as console?
Yeah, so as far as handheld console.
Oh, handheld? Shoot, we can do Nintendo, so the Game Boy line.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
We'll do that. Let's see. PSP Street.
They said $5, y'all.
Well,
I think it came out 2011, so what are we at, 13 years?
Yeah, so 2011. So so it's called the PSP Street or the PSP E1000. The E1000. Let's see. Let me go back to price charting. We're going to see PSP. So if I put PSP Street in here, it says, I don't even know what that is.
We're not collecting this data.
Well, not on that thing. There we go. E1000. So if we were to do the E1000, PSP Street, loose 60, complete in box 152, sorry. New and sealed 385.
Okay.
Graded new 423. So, I mean, they go for a pretty penny. They go for a pretty penny if it's new and sealed, but loose, I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's fair. A couple on like over $100. That's not bad.
Sounds about right.
No, that sounds great, actually. If I wanted one, I mean, it's affordable. Anyone can really go and get one. So, but that's all I got to say about the PSP.
All right. Me too. Thank you guys for listening to our episode about the PlayStation Portal. And be on the lookout for our next episode.
Dragon Ball Z.
We out.